Wow, what an incredible gameplay trailer. A good mixture of vehicles and infantry gameplay with a load of action in that one. The map that we saw was called Hourglass, set in Qatar. This city map looks really hectic and is on a massive scale. We get to see a sandstorm roll in alongside another hurricane. The lights turn the city into something very special later in the trailer. Could we be seeing another day to night cycle, or is it just the effect of that sandstorm coming in and making the place really dark? I'm not too sure. I'm very interested to see what will happen. Hopefully we will have some different weather and of course a day-night cycle. Night maps are very, very fun in Battlefield games in my opinion. For the rest of this video, I'm going to break down what I saw in the trailer. There was a whole load of information there, and then I'll give my honest opinion of the things that we saw. A fair bit of vehicle gameplay, a little bit of infantry there too. Bear in mind this is pre-alpha gameplay and the game should change quite a bit before release. Also in these trailers you see quite a low FOV most of the time, and it's all there for cinematic purposes a lot of the time, looking around at all the different things. Quite often when you play Battlefield it will be a slightly different pace, you'll be focusing on different things, the game might look a little bit different as well, so just bear that in mind. So starting out, we see a few little clips of all the different maps, a bit of a hint to what you'll see later in the trailer as well. Of course, a bit of that rocket taking off. It kind of sets the scene for what you will see later in the trailer as well. I think there are some really awesome set pieces in this game, such as that rocket taking off, the sandstorm coming in, and then the big hurricane. So what do we see? First of all, there is a soldier leaning out of the side of this transport helicopter as they fly into battle. You come over this large stadium, which seems like a huge thing to have on a map, just on the edge. It seems like they're all going into battle somehow. Remember, it's 128 players on a map, and this is one sector over here. If you look at the minimap, you'll see this is blue. It's controlled by the friendly team that we're riding on board with. The enemies have control of the red sectors. Now we cross here over to the enemy sector. If you look at the bottom of the minimap, it will show you what is controlled and what isn't by each team. I think you have to control different objectives within the sector in order to take control of that sector. Here we see an attack helicopter. Great to see the familiar sight of a primary Zuni weapon, maybe a tow missile, and then your countermeasures. Also, you'll notice that the Zunis are replenishing at the side. There's a bit of a reload in there as well. Infinite ammo, but I think it's going to be very similar to what we had in BF4, where there's a limited pool of ammo that will regenerate on its own. The two main helicopters that we're seeing at the minute are very different from one another. I wonder if it'll be like Battlefield 4, where you had different vehicles with different characteristics. A couple of weapons. We'll go into some depth in a future video looking at all the weapons from this trailer, but just focusing on one of the main parts of the trailer right here, you see a grappling hook. Really cool to see this in a Battlefield game. It opens up some amazing opportunities for traversing the map, and then some moments like this. Jumping on top of the crane, you see what looks like another specialist with the name Dozer on the side, pulling off a pretty cool animation. Takedown on that enemy player there on the floor. Then we see the sandstorm roll in, and that is on a humongous scale. Swapping out to a third-person camera, we can see an Osprey fly in, just kind of surfing this storm into the center of the map. We then get to see what that looks like from the ground, and there we go. It's a new feature coming to Battlefield, vehicles being dropped in via parachute to the ground. You can see the guy running over to get in it. Then, of course, we're in the tank. Once again, very familiar on the bottom right with the HUD, although you'll be seeing something slightly different there. 4 people can get into this tank with a top gunner, rear gunner, and a spotter. Reminds me a little bit of Battlefield 3 with the spotter. Could be very interesting if you're trying to squad up. 4 people getting into a tank could be fairly formidable. What we're seeing here as well, very similar to kind of a futuristic version of Battlefield 4, it seems like. This little transport vehicle has a nice little bit of information on the dashboard, and it just looks really, really cool. This fast-paced vehicle gameplay, almost like the map has been laid out with all of these jumps and routes through. Very, very impressive. You see a bit of customization on that tank as well. I wonder if that's something that we'll be seeing in Battlefield 2042. I really think DICE will go to town on that customization. Looking up towards the sky, we see a really nice bit of lightning. A couple of helicopters fly past, one of them not making it, unfortunately, crashing into the building. That tornado looks absolutely devastating. A couple of people take cover in the building. Maybe that is the best option in a situation like that. Hopping into the elevator, and the typical Battlefield elevator music. We've seen it in plenty of trailers before. A couple of interesting points here. You'll notice that on the right and left side you have a yellow bar that indicates medium to low health. As you can see, you also see if your squad mates are losing health as well. Once in the elevator, this soldier sets to work changing some attachments with his weapon. As you can see, you're offered 4 different choices. You've got your magazine, you've got your grip, you've got your barrel, and then you have your scope. Very cool. I wonder how that will work in game. Probably will take a lot of balancing, but there's definitely a lot of scope there for some very, very interesting gameplay. Now we're on top of the roof, another little takedown there. You can see a new C4 style detonator there. It gives you a load of information telling you what you're actually putting down, the distance and all that stuff, and whether it's active or not. And then we see the little scene from the trailer, the quad bike flying through the air, a well-timed detonation, boom, little bird out of the sky. Also something worth a little bit of a slowdown. As you can see the quad bike here flying towards the little bird, it seems as though the soldier bails off of that very quickly. That could mean a removal of those annoying animations from vehicles, but we'll have to wait for a bit more information. Now we're ziplining across to another building. It reminds me a little bit of Battlefield Hardline here, although it does look a little bit different. Is it just me, or does this trailer look slightly different to every Battlefield game we've played? I'm guessing they've got a new iteration of the Frostbite engine that looks slightly different, but there's a whole lot going on. Everywhere you look, it's fully action-packed. Something I've noticed here, as the soldier in front of this guy goes down, could you have squad revives? I think you're probably going to see some sort of return to that. You will see in a second as well the specialist with the revive syringe pistol. On the HUD there, bottom right, you'll see that there's a secondary with a large scope on it. Very cool. Could we be seeing a Magnum return with the 3x scope? Everyone loved that in Battlefield 4. The wingsuit as well here, really nice. It also seems like you can travel quite a distance with this wingsuit. And wow, look at that tornado throwing things up into the air. Very, very hectic right there as well. There we see a tuk-tuk getting pulled away. Not too sure, to be honest, of what I think of the HUD going all glitchy and your soldier putting their hands in the air when you get too close to the tornado. It is one of those things. Personally, I'm not too keen on that sort of interference in games, but it is what it is. We'll have to play it. There we see a slightly different hairstyle on that player running past. Again, might be related to customization. And once again, the storm just wreaks havoc across the map. A few other things that I've noticed so far. There's a riot shield in there, the grappling hooks, the wingsuits, silencers on weapons, a sniper scope on a revolver, a Sarco TRG M10 sniper rifle. Again, I'll be making another video dedicated to the weapons in this gameplay trailer. We get a glimpse of that stadium, which is another giant part of the map, which we haven't really had any images of yet. We see, of course, probably going to be my favorite vehicle in the game, the AH-64GX Apache Warchief. What an incredible name for a helicopter. Swapping your attachments seems like a cool feature. I'm not going to go into too much detail on it now because I haven't played it, I haven't got to grips with it or seen any proper gameplay. This is more kind of a cinematic gameplay trailer. It seems to me as though it's going to be difficult to balance, but if they do get it right, very, very entertaining. If you're in a situation where for some reason you need to switch the attachments on your gun, the player with the higher skill, who's faster and who knows exactly what to do in that situation will benefit, and the players who are slow and don't know what they're doing will not. That's what you want to see. Let me know what you thought of this gameplay trailer down in the comments below. Thanks for watching this video. As I said, we'll go into some more detail in the future. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.